Hey, welcome to Bikes, Boats, and Bivouacs. Well, Marie, it's a travel day. Where are we headed today?
We're going to Fort Desoto Campground in Pinellas County.
So west coast of Florida. We'll bring you back when we get there. We have made it to our spot at Fort Desoto Campground in Pinellas County. It's a beautiful park and I'll show you everything, but first let's check out our site. Now, most of the sites in here on one side are waterfront and then the other sites are not. I'm not in a waterfront site primarily because people from Florida get to pick earlier than non-Floridians. So that gives them an advantage to picking the nicer sites. But I'm here for 6 days and there's plenty of water access and all kinds of stuff. But let's check out the site. Of course, there's Phoebe. You heard her barking earlier. You can see it's sand. And you can see we are in site 88. So check this out. Now, it was not quite level. It was off maybe 3 inches. So I put 2 of my boards underneath. I do have those things, you can put in there and then you drive up on them. But with my back issues, I don't have to bend down as far. I can lay these in front or back of the tire. So that just makes it easier. So on the fun side, because of the sand, I put the mat down, pulled the chairs out, the awning out for some shade yesterday when we got here. It does come with a picnic table and a barbecue grill. You can have fires here, but you have to have your own ring or you have to rent a ring from them. So we may look into that a little bit later. You can see the sites have some room between them and some vegetation. This back area is pretty clear. I pulled all the bikes off because we'll do a lot of biking here and kayaking. So if we're taking more than just our kayaks, I'm taking other kayaks to the water, we can throw them in the back and we can take 4 or 5 of them. So that's why I pulled the bikes off. You can see Marie's bike's there. My Jazzion's there, and then we still have the kids' bikes from when they met us at Fort Wilderness. So they're just riding along for me. I pulled the table out just in case I'm going to use the electric fry pan. Remember, I do have the outside kitchen there too. It is electric and water. So you see there's the electric. 50 and 30 and 20. And then there's the water line, but there is no sewer. So there are 3 bathhouses in this section of the campground. So we'll use those, but I also have what the southern correspondent, Mr. Keith, calls the turd caddy. So that's with us, primarily for, I don't think I'll need it on the black tank, primarily just for the gray tank. If we take showers or something, we may fill it up. My tanks are nearly 40 gallons each, gray, black, and fresh. They're all 40 gallon. And I just need 1 block in the front. With my issues, I do not take the receiver hitch off of the truck anymore. That thing is 100 pounds. It'll wreck my back. I'm not supposed to lift more than 25. And I have a special device at the house that slides right underneath it, so I don't have to lift it to pull it out and put it in at the house. There you can see the turd caddy. It's officially named the turd caddy by Mr. Keith, the southern correspondent for BBB. All right, let's check out the rest of the park. What do you think, Phoebe? You like this place? All right. On this camping trip, you've seen occasionally Miss Beth with us in Jersey kayaking. She brought a roommate with her.
Hello.
Uncle Lee. He's joining the camping tradition, trying to decide if he wants a big Airstream.
Oh, an Airstream
van.
was always my dream.
You never know. Beth may put it in the driveway. Romeo, how was your camping trip? What do you think of that camping trip? Pretty good? I think he liked it.
He seems pretty happy, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, for Romeo.
So Beth, what do you think of your rental from Outdoorsy?
Oh, Outdoorsy's great. Everything went really smoothly.
Good. They have a premium site. Look at that. Pelican out there fishing. Probably waiting for a mullet to go by. So from site 134, you can launch right into Mullet Bay. So here is the restroom. There's several of these throughout the campground. And you can see they have a washer and dryer at the entranceway. So the bathrooms are a little outdated, but they are clean. Here's the playground. You can see it looks relatively new. You can see they got some rock climbing walls. There's a tilt-a-whirl. There's a thing like a glider to jump on. They got some swings over here. So, nice little playground. They actually have 2 dump stations, but this would be the one closest to my site. And their hose does have a fitting on there so you can use the black flush tank. Right there we have an osprey up in the tree, getting angry at me. And of course, this is the trail that goes along the waterway. This is Mullet Bay back in here, and there are campsites all along there. Okay, so when you get to Fort Desoto Park Campground, this is the entryway. That is the building that you're going to register in. And then you pull your campers up here and then go check in. And the store is right there. Past there, dogs are not allowed. The pet area campsites are 86 to 164. And you see no alcohol. Watch for low limbs, 5 mile-an-hour speed limit, and also be aware of wildlife. I can tell you the raccoons are very active here. They climb right up the trees by the camp. This is site 86. This is site 87. This is my site, which is 88. This is site 89. This is site 90. Site 91. Here we have site 92. Site 93, that's a very nice site. There's site 94. Here's site 95. Here's site 96. There's Marie. Here's site 97. Here is site 98. Now, across from 98, Here's a pathway to get to the path by Mullet Bay. And here is the camp host. And this is restroom 3C. So male, female, and then there's a washer and dryer at each one of the sites. Site 100. This is site 101. Here's site 102. It's a little short, but that's a nice site. Here's site 103. Site 104. And they have these trash cans spaced ever so far, you know, at various spots along the loop. So you just put your trash in there. Here's site 105. There's 106. Here is 107. That's another nice site. Site 108. Site 109. This is site 110. Here's site 111. Tim will be moving to this site. Here's site 112. Here's site 113 with the big Van Lee in there. Here's site 114. Here's site 115. Here is 114A. Here's site 116. And then just past 116 is a path that cuts over to the other bathhouse, which is around the corner on some of the other sites. So that's another little shortcut. Here's site 118A. Another camp host site. This is site 119. This is site 118. Another copper family. This is site 121. This is site 120. Here it's 123 by the playground. So this is a good site if you have little kids. Playground right behind you. (122). Here's 124. Here's 125. All the loops are one way. You see that's the exit. Here's site 127. And then you see sites 139 to 64 this way, 128 to 138 this way. Here's another camp host site. Big site. Site 129, there's a Jayco in there. And then turning on to the second loop are sites 139 to 164. Here you have 139. Here is 140. There's 141. There's 144, that's big. There's 142. Here's 143. Another camp host site. Here's 145. We got another bathhouse in this loop. Here's 146. Here's 147. Here is 149. $150. $151. There's 152. $153. 154 and 155. Here's 156. $157. Here is 158. Here is another camp host. Here is 160. Here is 161. Here's 162. $163. And 164. So that is your loop tour. And if you want to see more of the amenities at Fort Desoto, I'll put a link in the video to my brother's review of the park. The BBB Southern correspondent was here a bit ago and did more of a review of the amenities at Fort Desoto Park. All right, so we're going to give you our thoughts on Fort Desoto Park Campground in Pinellas County. Marie, what do you think of this place?
I think it really does give you a camping kind of feel with the vegetation and the sandiness and the large layouts. It's plenty of room.
Yeah, and you have to remember there's one loop that's pet friendly and two loops that are not pet friendly. So if you travel with your pets, make sure you, when you're selecting your site, you select it in the correct area. There's a ton to do at this park. There's several beaches.
The beaches are beautiful. You need to drive a little, of course, right?
Or ride your bikes.
Yes, there's beautiful bicycle riding paths.
There's also some sand and gravel pathways that are smooth. You could, with larger tires, you could run an ADA device on there, but smaller tires would not work. Very inexpensive. One thing you have to manage is there is no sewer. So you have water and electric, but you have to use the dump station. So depending on your length of stay, you may need to take along your turd caddy. What do I mean by that? Right there's the turd caddy. So you can dump your tanks in that and haul it without moving the camper. One other way you could do that is book a site for 3 or 4 days and then book a different site for 3 or 4 days. And you, when you're moving to the new site, stop at the dump station and drop your tanks. So that would work well too. But for us, we have plenty of capacity in the gray and black tanks. So would you come here again?
I believe I would. I love the kayaking time we had out on the bay, Tampa Bay.
That was the Mullet Bay.
Mullet Bay.
Yeah, so that was nice, you know, and there's multiple access points. So kayaking, good activity here. Riding bike, good activity here. Beach, a lot of beach area. One thing I want to mention, when you get your site, put in the license plate of your car that is towed behind your Class A, C, or B, or put in your towing vehicle, like with us with a dragger, because that plate gets registered in their system, which is completely electronic, and then you can park in all the lots and don't have to pay $6 every time you go to a different lot. So make sure you do that. Hey, look, if this video helped you, consider subscribing to the channel. It's free, helps me out a lot. Also, ring that bell, you'll be notified every time I put up a new video, and give the video a thumbs up. That helps it be seen by a wider audience. But more important than all that,
Go have some fun out there.
hey, thanks for watching.